Join me as I dive deep into the abyss and challenge myself to share spine-chilling stories that will haunt your dreams. Did you know that over 80% of our ocean remains unexplored? In this vast, dark expanse, the deepest trenches plunge to depths of over 36,000 feet, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. These dark waters conceal mysteries, undiscovered species, ancient shipwrecks, and perhaps even creatures more terrifying than our wildest nightmares. Tonight, I'll take you on a journey into this uncharted world, where the line between myth and reality blurs, and where terror lurks in every shadow. The ocean, an endless expanse of water stretching as far as the eye can see, holds a strange power over us. At first glance, it seems serene, beautiful even, with its sparkling waves and gentle tides. But beneath its surface lies a realm that remains largely unknown to humankind, a world as alien as the surface of another planet. There, in the dark, cold waters of the abyss, life clings to existence in ways that defy our understanding. And yet, it's not just the living creatures that make the deep ocean so terrifying. It's the eerie, unsettling sense that something else is down there. Something watching, something waiting. Throughout history, the ocean has inspired stories that are more than just legends. They're warnings of horrors that should never be disturbed. These are the tales of the abyss, and they are not for the faint of heart. Why does the abyss frighten us so much? It's the fear of the unknown. In a world where we have mapped almost every inch of land, the ocean remains one of the last true mysteries. We've sent men to the moon, but the ocean's deepest trenches are still largely unexplored. Scientists have only observed a small fraction of what lives beneath the waves, and some of what they've found is beyond disturbing. Strange, otherworldly creatures like the anglerfish, with its glowing lure, and the giant isopod, a massive crustacean that looks like something from a nightmare. But these known creatures are just the tip of the iceberg. The real question is, what haven't we found? What hides in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean where human eyes have never ventured? It's this uncertainty, this ignorance of what lies beneath, that fuels our fear of the abyss. And from that fear, stories are born. Stories of ships disappearing without a trace, of monstrous creatures that defy logic, and of ghostly presences that haunt the sea's darkest depths. Let's start with the ghost ship, the Mary Celeste. In 1872, this brigantine was found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean with no one aboard. The ship's cargo was intact, and there were no signs of violence or struggle. It was as if the crew had simply vanished into thin air. Over the years, many theories have been proposed: mutiny, pirates, or perhaps even an encounter with something supernatural. Some say the crew was lured overboard by a mysterious force from the deep, while others suggest they encountered something so horrifying they abandoned ship in panic. But the truth remains unknown, and the Mary Celeste continues to be one of the ocean's most haunting mysteries. Then there's the story of the SS Orang Medan, a Dutch ship that sent a distress signal in 1947. When rescuers arrived, they found the entire crew dead, their faces frozen in expressions of terror. No signs of injury or struggle were found on the bodies, but the ship's crew had seemingly died from sheer fright. Before the rescuers could investigate further, the ship exploded and sank, taking its secrets with it. Some believe the crew encountered a poisonous gas or a chemical leak, but others whisper that they were attacked by something lurking in the ocean's depths. Something that drove them mad with fear. And what about the creatures of the deep? While we've discovered the bizarre colossal squid, which can grow up to 40 feet long, there are stories of even larger beasts. Some sailors speak of the kraken, a monstrous squid-like creature said to be capable of dragging entire ships beneath the waves. Ancient maps often depicted the kraken as a symbol of the ocean's dangers, and though it was dismissed as myth for centuries, the discovery of giant squids has made some wonder if the kraken, or something like it, could still be out there, lurking in the depths, waiting for the right moment to strike. Another eerie mystery from the abyss is the infamous bloop. In 1997, researchers at NOAA detected a mysterious underwater sound that was louder than any known creature could have produced. The bloop, as it was named, was picked up by multiple underwater microphones and originated from a remote part of the Pacific Ocean. Some suggested it was the sound of an enormous, unidentified creature moving through the water. But here's the chilling part. The location of the bloop is eerily close to where H.P. Lovecraft placed the sunken city of Relia in his famous story The Call of Cthulhu, the resting place of an ancient, godlike being. While scientists later speculated the sound was caused by ice breaking apart, the mystery remains. Could there be something massive and ancient hiding beneath the waves, waiting to be discovered? We also can't forget the eerie encounters experienced by deep-sea divers. One such story comes from a diving expedition near the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the world's oceans. In 2016, a submersible was exploring the trench when its crew noticed something strange, a shadow passing across their lights. The shadow was massive, far larger than the submersible itself, and seemed to glide silently through the water. When the crew tried to focus their cameras on the object, it vanished into the darkness. The scientists aboard the vessel still have no explanation for what they saw that day, but they agree on one thing: whatever it was alive. The most spine-chilling story of all, however, is one that comes from a deep-sea diver named Mark. Several years ago, Mark was part of an expedition exploring an underwater cave system off the coast of Mexico. The cave, known to locals as La Boca del Diablo, or the Devil's Mouth, had a dark reputation. Many divers had ventured into its depths, but few had returned. Mark, being an experienced diver, wasn't easily frightened, and he took the tales of the Devil's Mouth as nothing more than local superstition. As Mark descended into the cave, the water around him grew colder. His flashlight cut through the inky darkness, but the walls of the cave seemed to close in on him. The deeper he went, the more oppressive the silence became. Then, just as he reached the deepest part of the cave, he saw something. At first, it was just a shadow in the corner of his eye, barely visible through the murky water. But then, it moved. A creature, massive, pale, and grotesque, slowly emerged from the shadows. Its body was a twisted mass of tentacles and fins, its skin translucent and glowing faintly in the darkness. Mark's heart pounded in his chest as he stared at the creature, frozen in fear. It didn't attack, but it watched him, its enormous, milky white eyes locked onto his. He felt as though it was studying him, waiting for something. Mark's instincts kicked in, and he slowly began to back away, never taking his eyes off the creature. As he reached the mouth of the cave, he risked one last glance behind him. But the creature was gone, vanished as if it had never been there. Mark never dove again. To this day, he believes that what he encountered in the Devil's Mouth wasn't just a sea creature. It was something far older, far more malevolent, something that shouldn't exist. And yet, he knows that it's still down there, waiting in the abyss. The ocean's depths are a place of wonder and beauty, but also of terror. For centuries, we've been drawn to the abyss, seeking to explore its mysteries. But for all our curiosity, the ocean remains a world apart, a place where the normal rules of reality don't always apply. From ghost ships and mysterious sounds to monstrous creatures and chilling encounters, the stories that emerge from the deep sea remind us that there are still places in this world where we are not in control. And perhaps, some mysteries are best left unsolved. Have you ever heard an eerie story about the ocean? Or maybe you've experienced something strange yourself. An unexplained sighting or an encounter that left you chilled to the bone. If so, I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my other videos on creepy tales and unexplained phenomena. There's always more lurking in the shadows, just waiting to be discovered.